it's brilliant to watch.
Yeah.
Next thing I wanted to talk about is it just popped up on like Instagram today. Is Rob put out a few things, and I think it was taken by the Daily Telegraph and put up on a few news stories and that. Rob Whittaker put something out about Israel Adesanya saying Izzy's not a god and other statements like that. Yeah, and he was basically saying, I can beat Izzy, he's not a god and things like that. And I agree, he's not a god. And I think especially fighters like Izzy and Conor, before they have a noticeable loss, they have a mystique about them that makes them look godlike, especially when they have finishes and dominate and they have these moments in the octagon. They look godlike. They look insane, like elite fighters, right? But it was funny to see Izzy's kind of rebuttal. He was saying, "Oh, well, if I'm not so good, fuck, what are you?" And it's good that we get to see this little
Twitter.
bit of Twitter banter between the two again, because I think that's legit the two best middleweights ever, other than Adesanya.
Well, they can take it and they can run with it. Like some, I just got to go a little bit off topic, but I love how some fighters are so fucking good at talking shit on Twitter, but they're so bad at talking shit in real life. Like Pewter Yarn.
Yeah.
Pewter Yarn's been going off lately.
I know.
And Aljamain Sterling and who else? I think, what's his name?
Henry Cejudo?
Huh?
Henry Cejudo?
Yeah, that's it. Him too. And one more, he was going off at him, and Sean O'Malley, that's the other thing. And also he shared that photoshopped image on his Twitter of, Hasabala, and they apparently thought that kid, he photoshopped Henry Cejudo's face over it. So, and then some guy like, oh shit, Beauty reshared my tweet, which I thought was hilarious. Yeah, I mean, do I agree with Rob on this situation? Well,
he's not a god, so yeah.
No, it's definitely not a god, but I kind of am excited to. It's clear cut that Rob is his next opponent. It's got to happen.
It was supposed to be before Vittori.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be.
We put it out on our Instagram. It's an insult not to give Rob. What more does he have to prove? I mean, it's not like he's fighting Costa anytime soon. The bloody man, he's having a hair transplant.
Which is so funny to watch, dude. Dude, and then a lot of people were saying, why is he getting a hair transplant? Is it because of steroids? Because you could see the top of his head, he was starting to bald quite quickly. I was like, maybe he's just a dude that's balding in his 30s. Like,
yeah, we've all seen, we follow more plates, more dates.
Yeah.
He's really informed. He did a very, very long one and thought out one about Paulo Costa. And he also recently put out a video mentioning his hair transplant, because one of the side effects of steroids is, well, so it's not steroids, but some of the side effects of performance enhancers is baldness.
Accelerated male pattern baldness.
Yeah, and not even that, but also the stress of training and the type of training he's doing as well. And he kind of has gone through a weird fluctuation. I think he was going back through his old photos and his hairstyles through the years, and he could say he looks super jacked in this photo, and his hair is ridiculously short. But he's not as in this photo. His hair's a little bit longer.
Yeah, I don't know if he's growing out his hair to hide or anything like that. I don't know. But he's getting a hair transplant now. And a lot of people were saying...
Speculating.
They were speculating, did he cancel his fight that was supposed to happen with Jared Cannonier so that he could get a hair transplant?
And then he was like, 350K is a joke or something like that.
Hair transplants ain't cheap.
Yeah, that's the point, man.
Cocaine ain't cheap. Hair transplants aren't cheap.
Where are you getting this money from to get the hair transplant in the first place? It's not like you're getting it from selling this special juice that he drinks.
I actually looked up how much they cost. I think it can cost anywhere between 10 and 30 grand Australian dollars.
Really?
Yeah, for a hair transplant.
Compare that to getting 350K for a fight. That's gold, man. But then again, you got to think about the costs when it comes to a fight.
Think about it. That's like 30 head transplants.
Yeah, but it's not like
okay.
Even if he was losing his hair, he looked more tougher when he shaved it. There was a point when he fought. I can't remember who he fought, but there was a point where he shaved his head as well. At that point, I think this is an ongoing thing. This hair.
Maybe I just thought it was a bit funny getting a hair transplant, because I'm pretty sure with hair transplants you're not supposed to sweat for quite a while because it's got to grow back because the filaments can fall out. I think when you get a hair transplant, you're not supposed to like exercise and sweat and things like that. And that's not so how's he supposed to train? He's taking a huge amount of time off to make his hair grow back. For what? Would you do that at the end of your fighting career?
Well, right now, also you got to admit some of the best fighters in the UFC were motivated. Didn't really have that much hair. John Jones ain't got that much hair. Daniel Cormier ain't got that much hair.
All these fighters are getting hair transplants. Bloody Floyd Mayweather, he got a beard.
Yeah,
he got a beard.
That's different though. When you got that kind of money that Floyd has,
beard transplant.
He could get the fucking. I never even knew beard transplants was a thing until
it's the same thing.
Yeah, it looks more. It's just a thing though.
They just take the back and they put it there instead of putting it to the
Here's the thing about those beard transplants though. It's like he shaved off his pubes and he stuck it to his face.
It's fucking horrible.
It reminded me of that Jackass prank that they pulled on that one guy where they got everyone to shave their pubes and they stuck it on that guy, made him look like a terrorist.
But he looked all right when he got his hair done right before the fight.
Yeah.
Before the weigh-in, like the ceremonial weigh-ins, right? And it was like, I saw the memes and it was like, isn't it funny how a good haircut can make you look from fucking homeless to millionaire? Because he looked fucking horrible.
Yeah, he did look fucking
He looked like a pube head on his face and his head. Like, it looked horrible.
Well, again, Floyd's got that fucking money, man. That millions. Like, I can't remember how much he got from the fight against Logan off the top of my head, but it's a fucking lot. He got a lot of the pay-per-views. Here's the other thing I've got to mention as well. Like, it's just briefly, but Paul Gallen fought Justin Hooney last week.
Oh, I never actually saw the fight. I did see the lead up. He was saying quite aggressive.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, we've gone so off topic of the
I know.
Robert Whittaker, but
yeah.
Did you see what kind of shit he was talking beforehand? He was saying, your goal is not to beat me. Your goal is to go to the Olympics. So my job is to beat the absolute shit in you and injure you and break some shit so you never go to the Olympics and reach your goal. That's the most fucked kind of like trash talk I've heard.
Yeah. I mean, not even that, but just since 22. He's 22. He's the same age as us. He left school when he was 15, so and it was fine, amateur/professional already around that time, and he'd been training for a long, long time. But he took that guy and he nailed a 40-year-old dude, and he cracked a couple of his ribs.
So Gallen lost, yeah?
Yeah, Gallen lost big time. But did you know how he lost? He got like a huge chunk of the pay-per-views, a huge chunk. I can't remember the exact figure, but that was in the contract, and Justin didn't really give a shit about that. Like, Justin's like a fucking samurai. He did not fight for the money. He was there to prove a point as well. And I gotta say, at a young age, he's definitely got a bright future ahead of him. Kind of like excited to see where he goes. If he goes to the Olympics, I've got a feeling he might fuck some shit up, especially when he's that good at a young age and he's knocking out big guys. Yeah, why not?